Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in as we continue showcasing Metra Electronics and their family of brands that all fall under the Metra umbrella. Here we are on day 4 of CMA Industry Week, and to help me with this, of course, is our Canadian arm of Metra, Mr. Gatlin Sandu.
Hello again.
Gatlin, this one's going to be cool. We're, again, shifting gears into yet a couple more brands. This time we're going to do 2 brands in this session. We're going to cover Metra PowerSports in the first segment, and then we're going to flip over and get to know iBEAM, which is kind of like the ADAS driver safety solutions brand for Metra.
You got it. You got it. So in this segment, there's going to be a lot to cover, and so it may go a little quicker than our other segments. So just keep that in mind, people who are viewing for us. They would appreciate that. So in the first segment, we're going to take care of PowerSports and talk about the wide and vast variety of products that we have available from our PowerSports section at Metra. And, I guess there's no better way to do it than just to get to it. So let's look at that first slide.
Well, wait, hold on. We need some help. Oh. We do need some help. And we're going to go back to, yeah, of course. They're standing by. So let's go ahead and get Jason. And wait a minute. That's not Aaron.
Stephanie.
No, of course not. That's not Aaron. We've upgraded. I can't even say that.
Oh, I'm sure to let Aaron know.
Welcome, Stephanie Carver, who is the product manager of iBEAM. Thank you for joining us at CMA Industry Week.
No problem. It's great to be here.
So as Gatlin had outlined, we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to start with Metra PowerSports.
Okay, so this is an exciting piece here. This is our MPS-SW6. And what this is a 700-watt 6-zone switch panel. This features 2 control options, 6-button Carling-style switch. If you guys are able to kind of look there in the center there, it's a really nice weatherproof type switch, app controlled through Bluetooth. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow the end user to actually control whatever inputs that they're controlling in this as an output side through our app, which is the Switch Panel PowerSports app, which you can find again, of course, on our website and the Apple iTunes and Android store. Each zone is independently controlled, and of course, it's got a low EMI design. The specs are input voltage of 12 volts. Power handling 700 watts, a nice control box made out of ABS plastic, the operating temperature anywhere from -40 all the way up to 302 Fahrenheit. You can put this in an oven, you know what I mean? And it'll still work. Switch size itself is 1.5 inches by 0.83, and the control box size is 4.3 inches by 1.08. 1.08 depth. Features that are controlled through the app are strobe options, fast and double pulse patterns. Lighting can be synced with music, adjustable brightness on each channel, and of course there is a master on and off switch. And being that this is the Metra PowerSports line, everything is nicely weather packed and sealed. So if you're putting this into an ATV, as you'd suspect, or a Polaris piece, you're not going to have to worry about water infiltration. Everything has nice seals and gaskets and all that fun stuff on there.
And now, Jason, help me understand, who's somebody who's just starting into the power sport thing. I am looking at getting a Polaris myself, but why would somebody need something like that? That's so hardcore.
Well, so the switch panel just gives you the ability to add in aftermarket lighting or equipment that you don't necessarily need on all the time. So if you're riding in the daylight, you don't need to have your lights on. But if you want to listen to the radio, maybe you want to have the radio on during the day. And it helps because you don't have to drill 6 separate holes in your dash to wire in your on and off switches, and then have to remember which one is which. So not only do you have a knockout Carling style switch that you can turn the items on and off manually, but you also have the option of turning them on and off through the app. And through the app, you can also name them, and that's where you can control the strobe features and light output and everything else like that. So, if you're looking to get a Polaris, something else that is included with this particular kit is an adapter, because Polaris RZRs have a little bit larger opening, and that adapter reduces that size of the opening so that our switch will fit right into it. Excuse me.
All right.
And then it also comes with a regular plate that can be cut out if you don't have one of those switch openings available. So it's a great solution. I recommend it if you're going to get one.
Well, I do also appreciate, once again, an app that allows me to expand on the functionality and not have 10,000 labels made to clutter my dash with.
That's right.
Really, that's what we've been doing in the past in any application. So yeah, that certainly helped that out. I know we have a video we can go to. Let's start with that, and we'll circle back.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm from Metra Electronics. Today, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the PowerSports products that we're bringing into the MPS line this year. The first product that I'm going to go over is our MPS-SW6 switch panel. Now, why we're excited about this switch panel is because of its versatility. Not only can you control your outputs from the control box from this Carling switch knockout, but you can also control it through a phone app. You get 2 features out of 1 control box. So we're going to go through some of the steps and some of the options that you have both through the switch and also through the app. Now, talking about the switch first, is we've got a 6-button control pad here. You can power lights on individually and power them off individually, all through this Carling switch style knockout. This Carling switch fits into the typical Carling switch opening that you would find in UTVs, ATVs, some Jeeps, maybe even some Toyotas. So it is incredibly versatile. It's a standard size. It's got a nice watertight DIN plug on it that's keyed so you can't put it in the wrong way. And it gives you the option to control your lights directly from the switch. Other way that we can control this switch panel is through our Metra PowerSports app. This displays all 6 channels that this controller can operate. You can individually turn the lights on. You can turn the lights off. You can turn them all on or all off with just a single push of the button. We also have some added features that you can do a slow motion strobe. You can do a faster strobe, and you also have the option of going to the music. Anything that your phone microphone hears will show up as being dimmer or a little bit brighter through your LED light. Again, switch it on, off directly from the app. If I switch it on, I have the ability to increase or decrease the brightness directly from the app. I can also press and hold, rename it to any location that this particular light would be mounted, whether it's a light bar or a dome light, maybe it's a horn or whatever it is. You can rename that to any name that you would like. And it will show you what power rating each channel is capable of handling. So we have the 2 end channels here that operate on up to 200 watts. The center 2 channels up to 100 watts, and that's each. And then the bottom 2 are 50 watts each. So a total of 700 watts capability out of this controller. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be a great piece. Obviously, it's all sealed. It comes with some extra components just to make your installation just that little bit easier. Comes with a switch panel cutout. So basically, if you don't have a Carling style knockout for your switch panel, we're including one with you. This is a metal bracket, comes with a hole, you trace it, you cut it out. We're including some mounting screws for you. Once you have that mounted and cut out, pop your switch in and you're ready to go. We've also included a switch adapter for Polaris RZR vehicles. Polaris has a different size switch in their vehicles from the factory. So we're including that adapter just in case you want to throw it into your RZR. We're really excited about this piece. It's sealed. It's going to meet the requirements that that are put on a piece when you throw it into a UTV or an ATV or any kind of off-road vehicle. This is going to hold up, and it's got the Metra backing and the PowerSports name.
You know, I just realized that Metra's marketing team has actually identified a different soundtrack for each brand.
Of course.
You know, just the little things that people like me notice. That's all. That's all. Well done.
Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know, all that does, that piece there just enables you to like max out even more lighting than you thought you wanted or needed. Basically.
Just lighting.
It really does.
You can use that in audio applications as well if you really wanted to.
Right. You know, I didn't even think about that, Gatlin, because really it's anything. It does, you know, we say, yeah, you showed lighting in the demo there, Jason, but really it could be for anything. So very unique piece, maybe that goes beyond just power sports.
That's absolutely correct. Yep. It's a great little piece.
For sure.
Let's get to the next slide.
All right.
Okay, and so touching base again in our access line through PowerSports, we've got our water-resistant 10-channel DSP, and this fits the Polaris Ride Command, and it's housed in a water-resistant case, keeping things nice and watertight. Harnesses have a rubber boot that snap into the housing. It's designed for the Polaris Ride Command applications. It's pre-wired input harness for amp 1, 2, and 3 of Ride Command. 31 band equalizer, a selectable high and low inputs. Each channel has independent 2-way and 3-way crossovers, as mentioned in our access segment there as well. Easy behind the Ride Command installation. So the Ride Command is the actual radio in a Polaris there. Clipping detection, limiting circuits. The base control knob, of course, is always included. Always suggest you update these modules, avoid a tech support phone call. Settings are adjusted via Bluetooth in a smart device application, very similar to our other DSP application. Well, it is the DSP application. Password protect feature available in the mobile app, and it's micro B USB updatable. So a really neat, cool piece there, you know, getting into integration. A lot of these Polaris pieces, Harley Davidson, PowerSports, UTV, ATV also have very unique radios. And so we've created a nice, easy, streamlined solution for plug and play ability on those as well to get great sound out of those really basic audio systems that you're coming to get used to in the ATV and UTV world. Moving on from there, we've got our MPS Polcam F, Polcam F, and it's a front camera add-on. Again, the Polaris Ride Command with the 7-inch or the 4.3-inch interactive display. Again, add rear aftermarket camera to your factory Ride Command display. Plugs into the OE style connector. You know, we've done a lot of work making sure that we have all those odd, you know, factory connectors available, whether it be in Harley Davidson, PowerSports, car, or truck. You know, we want to make it as easy and streamlined as possible. So again, a nice OE connector there, and again, works with any universal iBEAM camera. So you don't have to, you know, use, you know, a specific camera, but you can use any one of our iBEAM cameras with a, you know, the yellow jack on the back there. And then moving on from there, rear camera add-on for the Polaris Ride Command, and again works with the 7-inch or the 4.3-inch interactive display on the Ride Command system.
I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. We are now looking at full DSP with Bluetooth technology.
That's right.
That's updatable through software.
Yeah.
For a side-by-side vehicle.
Yes.
I don't know. It has to be said. I
We
cannot be the only one thinking it. You know, I remember just a few years ago that we didn't have this for cars, and now we have them for our toys that we go into the woods and sand dunes with. Okay, what I do love about this is the camera add-on, and I totally get why Stephanie is here with us now. But like, if anybody's ever drove any of these things, it is so hard to see what's behind you. So this is brilliant. I'm going to leave this to Jay and Stephanie to talk about.
Just real quick, I'm going to let her talk about the camera, and the only thing that I'm going to show you is the OE connector that is found behind the front grille of the Polaris vehicles. This is the voltage reducer, and this is the camera's plug-in. We've got a OE panel right here, and I'll let Stephanie talk to you about the camera itself.
Yeah, the PoleCam F actually comes with a specific camera that mounts into the OE position. It's a real quick little pop-in camera, and it's able to be positioned up and down. Comes with a little Allen key into the back. You can position it up and down on the front of your ATV or your UTV on your Polaris, so you can see, I don't know, what rocks you're rolling over. Make sure you don't fall off a cliff. I don't know, something crazy like that. And then with the harness that Jay showed you, you just plug it right in, plug right into Polaris, and everything's right there. Quick and easy, plug and play.
So the controls are all done through the Ride Command screen.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, I mean, this is what you get in the bag, and it takes you 5 minutes to plug in. The connector is already back there from the factory, and you're ready to go. You can access and turn on that front camera right from the screen immediately.
Yeah, it's very simple, easy, plug and play. Everything's right there. It's sealed, water resistant. And you're going to be able to see what's going on in front of your Polaris.
Like Stephanie said, it's adjustable.
Or behind
you. Yeah, it's adjustable, and you can point it wherever you want.
Yep.
That is truly seamless integration.
Yeah,
especially with that piece, you plug it in, you're good to go.
5-minute install, maybe.
If that, yeah.
Because it takes longer to pull the car in.
No, absolutely. Can we talk about that DSP real quick? I mean, you know,
sure.
I've been on a lot of these sessions with a lot of different brands, and some brands obviously have taken, you know, aftermarket not car audio, I guess, side-by-side audio or PowerSports audio to the next level.
Sure.
You know, providing all kinds of upgrades in different stages, right? You can start with just a sound bar, and sound bars go to, you know, just the front speakers and the cans and so on and so forth. Is this something that you see being a trend in just PowerSports, or are we going to start seeing DSP in like other platforms as well, such as maybe Marine?
I mean,
it's a trend.
DSP right now, so far, Metra, obviously we have it in our Access line, but we have it in our Saddle Tramp line and also our PowerSports line.
You do.
Okay. And I could guarantee you that there is an application for that DSP to be used in the Marine line as well. Just because they're, you know, in a boat, depending on how big the boat is, you have so many speakers and so many different ways that a lot of those speakers need to be controlled. These need to be softer in the back of the boat than they do in the front of the boat. And you need to have that balance, and you can do that with the DSP by the independent control on each output of each output channel of the DSP. So real quick, I just want to make a point that the Ride Command, the Polaris Ride Command, plugs into the OE connectors for amp 1, 2, and 3. The reason why we include the bass knob and the reason why it's important to install the bass knob is because typically amp 3 is for sub-level control. That sub-level control cannot be adjusted through the Polaris Ride Command screen. So you install that bass knob, and now you have full subwoofer controls just by turning a knob. So it's a great piece. It integrates right into the OE stuff, and you can add in aftermarket equipment. If you're going to be working on a Polaris Razor, like a 1000 or something like that, 2-door or 4-door, you can pick up our MPS-RZ kit, which is a full unloaded 10-inch enclosure and 6.5-inch pods. So we're really looking to bring in everything together into a solid solution for the guys in the power sports market.
That's right.
All right. Well, let's time to go to the video.
Hi, Jason from Metra Electronics. I'd like to tell you about some of the power sports products that we have coming out this year, specifically some of the universal ones, and then also some of the products for Polaris Ride Command vehicles. We're really excited about this product lineup, especially within our power sports line, because the Ride Command system in Razors, Generals, and even some Slingshots, it's incredibly popular, and people want to upgrade those all the time. So we're going to take a few minutes and we're going to go over what I've got laid out here on the table. First product I'd like to show you guys is something kind of universal for the Polaris family. And these are the MPS-CSA5 and CSA. These are switch adapters for Polaris vehicles that have the bigger opening. Carling switches really don't fit into Polaris vehicles with that bigger opening. So we have an adapter plate, comes in a single pack and then also a 5-pack. Makes it a little bit easier to add whatever switch, whatever style of switch that a customer would want into their Polaris vehicle. So it's a great little addition, little accessory that we're offering within the line. It should help you guys out, at least your customer, pick the right switch for the right application. Now the next 3 parts I'd like to show you are relating to the Ride Command system in your Polaris vehicles. First one is MPS-PolCam-R, and this is a plug-and-play reverse camera harness for the Polaris Ride Command. Plugs in directly into a plug behind your Ride Command screen, gives you an RCA output as well as an accessory and ground directly out of the Ride Command. So you can put any aftermarket camera on your Ride Command vehicle and feed it directly into our MPS-PolCam-R. Now, just like we have a solution for the rear, we also have a solution for the front cameras for Polaris, Razors, and Generals. This is the MPS-PolCam-F, and it is, again, it's got an OE style plug on it to an iBEAM style camera connector, DIN connector. We've got a 3/4 inch eyeball camera, fully rotatable, plugs directly into the harness. The converter box here takes that 12-volt signal that's found in the output side of your Ride Command and knocks it down to the 3.3 volts needed to operate this camera. It's got 2 loops on it, one for mirroring, one for parking lines, so you can obviously cut those if you need. The location, the installation of this particular part is incredibly easy. Polaris has pre-wired the front camera harness on the majority of its newer style Razors and Generals. So you find this plug in the factory front grille, plug it in, plug this into the opening for the camera that is usually located on the front grille, and you're ready to go. Just that simple. Now the last product with a focus of integrating into the Ride Command system is the MPS-DSPX-RC1. This is a fully operational DSP with 31 bands of equalization. It's got pre-wired to the OE connectors out of the back of your Ride Command radio for amp 1, amp 2, and amp 3. Comes with power wire, power ground and accessory, as well as RCA outputs. Included with the kit as well is a bass knob for your sub control. Now this is important because if you've ever done any type of integration on a Ride Command vehicle, the amp 3 output is not controllable through the Ride Command screen. So if you're going to use that as your source for your subwoofer signal, you need a way to adjust that bass up and down. Well, with the DSP, PowerSports DSP, and our bass knob, we now have that covered. This is a completely plug-and-play installation. It will work with any of the amplifiers out on the market today because it's got RCA outputs. All the configuration and setup is done through the Access DSP XL app. It's a free app, can be found on the Android or the Apple Store. This part will pair up wonderfully with our MPS-RZ kit. This is our subwoofer and speaker pod kit within the PowerSports line. That's an item that we currently have within the line. So if you'd like more information on some of the other items that we have, you can always log on to metrapowersports.com. So the last part I'd like to talk to you about is similar to the DSP we just talked about. The difference with this part being is it's more of a universal piece. It's a piece that doesn't require a source, so it doesn't need a radio in order to feed in an audio signal to your aftermarket amplifiers. This is a benefit when maybe you don't have the Ride Command system, or maybe you're in a vehicle that just doesn't have any type of audio whatsoever. You can take this MPS-DSPL-BT, wire it into your aftermarket amplifiers and speakers, and hide it away and not have to worry about it. It comes in a waterproof, watertight case. You can see that the grommets are overmolded onto the wires, and when it snaps in, it'll give you that watertight configuration. The reason why this particular piece doesn't need a source is because of our Bluetooth chip. This Bluetooth chip keys into a location on the board, and now our DSP can receive Bluetooth signal. You assemble the board, pop in the harnessing. You can wire up your outputs to your aftermarket amplifiers or speakers. Now, what's also another benefit to this is even though you may not have an input source into this DSP, you can still wire one up if you choose to add one down the road. All the wiring is included. Now, one of the questions that we got was, well, it's great we don't have a source, but I don't want to have to use my phone or my tablet or my streaming device. Volume control. Well, we've got that covered too. We've included with the kit 2 separate knobs. One to control your bass and one to control the overall volume of your system. So you can be blazing down the trail, hitting all kinds of bumps, and you can still grab a hold of this knob and turn your volume up and down with little to no effort. It's a great piece. It can be used in a lot of UTV applications, marine applications, and even some motorcycle applications when a customer doesn't have a fairing. Maybe they want to hide an amplifier in their saddlebag, throw some saddlebag lids on it, and now you have a way to stream audio to that amplifier. It's a great piece. It's going to be it's a universal use and universal applications. So if you'd like more information on this piece, you can log on to metrapowersports.com and it'll give you all the details on the specific products that you're seeing here. So with our PowerSports lineup this year, you'll notice that we have universal applications and we also have vehicle-specific applications. We've got a wide range of products that cover all of your needs. So if you'd like more information on what you've seen here today, or even some of the other products that we offer within the PowerSports line, you can visit metrapowersports.com and it'll give you all the information you need.
Thank you for that.
That was a long one.
No, it wasn't that long. That wasn't that long. Thank you, Jay, for that excellent presentation, as usual.
No problem. It was really hard work.
I know. Wow, I don't know how you did that so quick between the two studios.
Yeah, I don't know.
Amazing. All right, let's keep the train pushing forward here. Shifting a little bit into the iBEAM category, which is basically Metra's ADAS brand. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, we're talking about driver safety solutions, right? And that's specifically why we have Stephanie here with us today, as she is the product manager for iBEAM. But I'll let Gatlin go ahead and describe what we see on the slide, and I'll go to you, Stephanie, to give us a little further enhancement or more information, elaborate on that, what we're about to learn here.
That's great. So, Metra's iBEAM category, we take your safety very seriously. And we're always trying to come up with new and innovative ways to be able to either, gain sensors or cameras or 360 view cameras, or the ability to just see overall, everything around you while you're driving and to keep you safe. So I guess we'll kick off here with our TE-2MPIR. This is our multi-mount accessory controlled camera. Multi mounts are included, so either behind the plate or you can do a surface mount with this camera. Improved power circuit and selectable parking lines, so you can turn those parking lines on and off. Some people like to have them and some people don't, so depending on where you're actually placing this camera on the back of a vehicle, if it's to the left or the right, on the new Jeeps, let's say for instance, the license plate mount is on the right hand side if you're not doing a spare tire mount, and the backup lines may not actually line up with what you're backing into. So, it's suggested that you remove those lines. IRs for night vision, so you can be viewed nice and clearly at nighttime. And it's triggered only when it's in reverse, the IR LEDs, and then it's also water resistant to protect from the elements. The next piece here we have is our TE-2 MP LTC, and this is an LED accessory camera with multi-mounts and active parking lines. Again, multi-mounts are included, backing plate mount and or surface, behind the plate mount and or surface mount. Improved power circuit again, active parking lines, and can be viewed while driving with compatible monitors. LEDs for night vision, triggered only again once you're in reverse. And again, you get what you pay for in camera world. And so here at iBEAM, we take everything, the weather, the elements, all of that stuff into consideration. And so when you're buying one of our cameras from the iBEAM safety systems, you can ensure that it's a quality product. And, it's not just the housings that people, kind of take into consideration. It's weather. Ben, we live in Canada.
Dude, you know how crusty my rear view cameras get? Like sometimes I have to knock it with my scraper just to get the ice off it. And like Jay's like, what the hell are they talking about? But yes, that's right.
And you live in Canada?
Yeah. Thumb and give it a little wiggle.
Rub down, make sure all the ice gets crusty.
Get all the salt off of your camera, and so
yeah.
We really,
we don't know anything about that down
here. Okay, Stephanie.
Good thing we got Gatlin up there.
Yeah. All right, Stephanie, tell us a little bit more about beyond what that slide showed.
Well, what we've changed a lot with these cameras is we've put all those multi-mounts into the box, so you don't have to buy this one or that one. You have everything included right in one box. So like this on this one here, you could have the license plate, or you could take off the 2 screws on the back and put on the surface mount. You got your 2 options right there. Easy, quick, you don't have to carry 2 cameras, everything's right there all in one. Another thing we changed was the way that it operates. We've actually, on our IR and our LED versions, we've been able to change the power circuit on it and allow the IRs and the LEDs to be powered on their own. So they can now safely be powered while the car is running. The camera can safely be powered while the car is running the entire time without having to blow out. And then while you're in reverse, you could hook that up separately and turn on your IRs and your LEDs only while you're in reverse, as opposed to having them on all the time, and if it's an LED, blinding the guy behind you.
So what Stephanie came up with was, typically backup cameras are normally 2 triggers, right? You have a ground and you have a reverse trigger. Well, she went ahead and added in an additional trigger that independently controls the IRs or the LEDs as well as the parking lights. So a customer can turn that screen on, hit the button, see what's behind them without turning on the IRs, LEDs, or the parking lights. And then when they pop that thing into reverse, the parking lines are going to come on, LEDs are going to light up, and they're going to be able to see what's behind.
Exactly. Yep. Only when you need them, they're there for you.
So that's one of them.
All right.
That's one of them. Basically, they're all the same across the board until you come to the 2 MPC, which is our basic bullet camera. This one has 3 mounting options. It has your license plate, a small flush mount, so you can just drill a hole, pop it in. Comes with hole saw of this specific size,
Hey,
as
Stephanie,
well as a surface mount. Yeah.
Stephanie, I'm going to ask you to hold on that because I think that we're going to cover a video and then we'll come back to that TE2 MPC module.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Hi, Jason from Metra Electronics. Today I'm excited to bring you a first-to-market product for the iBEAM line. We've got 4 cameras. They're behind the license plate, dual mount cameras that have an increased power supply so they can stay on all the time, but we also are bringing you an independently controlled IR triggers and LED triggers for your camera. So we're going to take some time, we're going to go over some of the new products, and we're going to show you how this can benefit you in the bay. The first product I'd like to talk to you about is TE-2MP LTC. This is an active line camera with an increased power circuit. And what that means for you is that you can leave the camera on all the time. Even some of the cameras in our current iBEAM line, it's not really recommended to power that camera off of accessory. They don't really have the power circuit for it. So we upgraded the power circuit in these 4 cameras. We also added, for those cameras that have additional LEDs and IRs, we added a trigger that is independently controlled. The purpose of this trigger, once you put it to 12 volts, it will turn on the LEDs. So what this is going to allow you to do is still watch what's going on behind your vehicle while you're driving, but it's not going to have those LEDs on. We've gotten a lot of requests over the years to really give this a dual feature setup. And with these 4 product lines, I think we've really done that. So we're going to go through the remaining 3 products, show you a little bit more about it and how it can benefit you. The next camera I want to talk to you about is part number TE-2MPIR. This is similar to the camera I just shown you. The only difference is one is IR, the other is LED. The 2MP LTC had active parking lines. So those parking lines are not controllable through a trigger or through a parking line loop. But the 2MPIR is. So this, just like the camera before it, comes with multiple mounting options. You'll see this one has IR LEDs, and those can be independently triggered as well as the parking lines. So again, you can wire this up to a full accessory because it has that improved power circuit. You can watch what's going on behind you, and only when you pop that vehicle in reverse will the IR LEDs come on, as well as the parking lines. This particular, these particular products, because of our design of our retail box, all 4 of them have wall hangers on them, or hook hangers, so that they'll display really nicely in your stores. The next camera that I want to tell you about is another active line camera. It is the TE-2MPTC. This camera is, again, just like the first one, it's an active line. So we can't independently control the parking lines. But it does have an improved power circuit, so it can remain on the entire time while you're driving, and it does have those 2 mounts that I was telling you about earlier. Now the last camera I'd like to talk to you about is the TE-2MPC. This one is just like your standard, your normal bullet camera. Comes with the license plate mount, but what's unique about this particular product is it comes with the additional mounts that you normally see with a bullet style camera. The lip mount as well as the flush mount. So it comes with a hole saw. Again, it's got that improved power circuit we've been talking about. So this really is going to fit the bill for a multiple range of applications. I think it's going to be a great product, and it's certainly going to look good on the shelf. So I feel with these 4 products that we've launched this year with this feature set, it really shows that we hear what the installers are requesting. They want more vehicle safety. They want more features for the customers, and iBEAM can definitely supply those features for them. Not to mention the standard iBEAM 3-year warranty on almost all the product within the line. So if you'd like some more information on what we offer within the iBEAM line, you can visit ibeamusa.com.
All right.
There you have it.
There we go.
very informational. Man, Jason, you're so good on camera. What am I even doing here?
Yeah. Here we go.
It
So,
took a lot of takes. Don't let how easy it went looks.
Oh yeah,
fool you,
I can only
so.
imagine.
I don't know, man. I think he's just being a little humble there, but yeah, great job again.
Brandon Guadin here too. Get his voice. It's so mesmerizing, you know.
Yeah.
It puts me to sleep. I don't know.
All right. So lots more options here from iBEAM. I put up this next slide here to talk about 2 more. So go ahead, Gatlin, and let's learn about these.
Take it down. Got multi-mount. Oh, there we go. So TE. I thought it was the same slide there. I apologize.
No, this is different. This is the new one.
Yeah, this is the new one here. So TE-2 MPTC, again, another multi-mount accessory controlled camera. Multi-mounts are included behind the plate mount or surface mount. Again, power improved circuit. And that's where you can keep the cameras on a little longer. You know, I don't think we really talked about that in the, you know, in the video too much, but, you know, typically these cameras are only designed to be kept on just while they're in reverse and not while you're driving forward. And so actually, if you want to zoom in on Jason and Stephanie there, they're actually showing you the camera nice and close with the mounting hardware and all of the bracketry that's included inside of the box. It just makes it, you know, super versatile, and you can either flush mount this, or you could even, you know, mount it on the plate. You can, you know, again, that's the little flush mount bracket there that the camera snaps into. And so again, going back to the improved power control circuit, this allows you to keep the camera on. So if you want to switch it on to an accessory power, I mean, I never really recommend keeping the camera on unless you're actually viewing it. But, you know, in cases where you're towing a trailer and you want to keep an eye on your load every, you know, 15, 20 minutes, make sure things aren't shifting around, and you want to flick that accessory switch on and have it on for 5 or 10, 15, 20 minutes. You're not going to have to worry about burning up that camera. And so, you know, we've improved the power circuit on our iBEAM line for that purpose, to make them more versatile, more usable, and not just while you're in reverse, but if you decide that you want to hook it up to an active switched power on maybe the gang panel that we showed you earlier in the PowerSports section, you can just go bloop and turn on your camera and have it viewed on the screen. Again, water resistant, protect from the elements. We care about that a lot at Metra. Again, we all don't live in Florida where there's 12 inches of sun. We live in Canada where there are a lot of, you know, elements and things that we have to take into consideration. And below that, we have the TE-2 MPC. And that's, again, a multi-mount accessory controlled camera. Multi-mounts are included behind the mount, plate mount, surface mount, and flush mount. And they actually showed that camera previous to, and they're going to zoom in on the box there for me, Ben, if you don't mind, with Jason. And again, a really nice packaged camera. You know, this allows you to either put it on a shelf or on a slot peg board as well. So if you're planning on, you know, displaying it in your showroom, the boxes are really attractive. Very attractive, nice quality looking product. And it's like going back to, you know, the Apple, you know, you open up a MacBook or an Apple iPhone, you know, the packaging is just one part of the puzzle, but, you know, it's super quality. And, you know, that speaks volumes for our iBEAM line.
170 degrees of viewing angle and an IP67 rating. Very important. We don't have much time, but there is another slide. I'm going to need a minute just to grab it up if you want to just talk a little bit while I set up this next slide.
Sure. Jason actually with Stephanie there has some of our backup sensor pieces, and maybe they can zoom in on some of the packaging and talk about that in the intern.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I'll bring it up if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, so this is new to our line for this year, the TE2PSK, so 2-sensor parking kit system. These sensors are super small, very small, and the great thing about this kit is it doesn't require any drilling into the bumper. These go behind the bumper, and you don't have to drill and make any holes and line 4 of them up. It comes with 2 sensors. You line 2 of them up, clean the back of the bumper off real nice, and you're good to go. It's a very simple, very easy install.
And what style of bumpers is it for?
Plastic bumpers only.
Okay.
It ain't going through no metal.
I'll go ahead and get off the slide here really quick. Thank you, Ben. So again, reiterating the part number, it's our TE-2 PSK no drilling parking 2-sensor kit. When Jason zoomed in on that parking sensor, weather pack sealed, beautiful, nice, hermetically sealed sensors. provide an enhanced accuracy and reliable two-sensor parking system that uses a higher frequency than current sensors in the market to allow for a more precise 3-foot sensing field with fewer false triggers. I mean, even in the OE marketplace with factory backup sensors, I imagine, and even in my own personal use on vehicles that I've owned over the course of the last, 5 or 6 years, for instance, you get a lot of false alarms, you get a lot of awful, outside, you're backing up and all of a sudden it's going, you're like, oh, what was that? And you look back and there's nothing there. Right. And so it's a lot more of a precise sensing field with our triggers to avoid a lot of those false, slam on the brakes and what's going on. Right.
Alan, to help us with this, I actually have one video that we can squeeze right in and come back, and at least we'll get a sense of that right now.
Hi, Jason from Metra Electronics. I'd like to tell you about 2 iBEAM products that we're really excited about this year. It's all about vehicle safety. Whether you're backing up or driving down the road, whether it's a blind spot detection or some rear parking sensors. So we're going to take a few minutes, we're going to go through this, and we're going to talk about all of the benefits and how it can help cut down installation time or even installation errors on your vehicles. So let's get started. The first part I'd like to tell you about is the TE-BSM2. And first thing I'd like to point out is it's got an incredibly nice retail box. It's got a window inside so you can see the sensor, and it's just a great looking box. When we open it up, pull it out, the reason why this part is one of our more unique items that we are launching this year is because of its single sensor system. And what this means is you don't have to drill a hole in the frame of the vehicle around the bumper or remove that plastic bumper from the vehicle anymore to offer your customer a blind spot monitoring system. This sensor installs directly in the back window of many of your SUVs and sedans that are on the road today. So this single sensor will cover your left and right sides of your blind spots that you're typically going to see in more of like an OE style blind spot monitoring system. Most of the time those are installed into the bumpers or behind the bumpers. A lot of times you got to remove the bumper, not the case anymore. Relatively straightforward, easy installation. It's got a level on it, so you can actually level it to the ground. Comes with all the harnessing you need, as well as the indicators that go up on the A-pillars, typical location for a blind spot monitoring system. 4-color instruction, and you have an option of using the cigarette lighter plug. It's got an on-off switch on it, or you can obviously hardwire it so it comes on with your ignition. It's a great piece. It's going to fit that type of customer that doesn't necessarily want that really expensive blind spot monitoring system that's going to require them to drop their bumper and install the aftermarket pieces. Now you can do it with one simple piece that's on the back window. It's not very obtrusive, small, adjustable, and you won't see it going down the road. Now the next part that I'd like to tell you about is, again, another unique item from the iBEAM line. And this is part number TE-2PSK. This is a parking sensor system. It's designed to be installed behind your plastic bumpers. And you can see it's not your typical round parking sensor that you have to drill a hole in the bumper. These are ultrasonic 78 gigahertz, 79 gigahertz parking sensors. They project through the plastic bumper. Only 2 sensors are required to cover the entire rear of your vehicle. Now, it will not work on metal bumper vehicles, only vehicles with plastic bumpers. Again, the kit comes with 4-color instructions, the harnessing to get this installed, programming switch, little piezo tweeter, measuring tape, and some adhesion promoter for the 3M VHB tape that was going to install behind the bumper. It has watertight 4-pin Molex connectors, so we don't have to worry about water intrusion, and plenty of wire to get to the inside of the vehicle. Now, it's a relatively straightforward installation. In some applications, you will have to drop the bumper. In other applications, you can simply pull the tail lights out and access the area needed to install these. The real benefit to this, and where it can save the installer a lot of potential headache, is when holes are drilled in the bumper in the wrong locations when installing your typical backup sensors. Because of these, they go on the inside of the bumper. You're never going to see them. They'll project through that plastic bumper without any problems, and you'll have that coverage that the customer is looking for. So between the two kits that we've shown you here today, you can really see that iBEAM has a focus of not only installation ease, but also customer options. Sometimes customers don't want to pay those high dollar prices or even the high installation prices, but they still want the same features that you typically see in a factory vehicle. With these two parts, now you can offer them a solution. So if you'd like some more information on these products or the other products within the iBEAM line, you can visit ibeamusa.com.
We're really short on time, Gatlin, so I don't know how you want to wrap that up. Those are really cool sensors. I think Jay did a great job. I want to throw it maybe to Stephanie if there's anything you'd like to add to that presentation.
No, those videos are very descriptive and give you everything it needs.
Who do you think I got the information from?
Makes sense to me.
She puts a lot of effort into the iBEAM line in bringing in these new style of products, and she's going to continue to do that throughout this next year and the years to come. So anything that I was talking about on videos is just because she was behind me telling me what to say. So
well, you've done a great job conveying the message, Jason, and thank you so much for the thought that's been put into these iBEAM products, Stephanie.
No problem. You're welcome.
And to kind of wrap things up, I guess, just again, reiterate the website, metraonline.com. Click the top of the links there, our catalogs, and I encourage all of our viewers today to view our iBEAM catalog and our PowerSports catalog and get a better grasp of our selection and vast variety that's available to them. And if you have any questions, always contact me right down there, gatlins@metro-autosound.com, and my direct cell phone number. Like that, it is right to me, like right to my head, right here. Call me. I'll look after you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Gatlin. That was a very, very informative one. We'll see you for the last and final session of this Metra Showcase.
Thank you.
There you have it, guys. Both iBEAM, ADAS, driver safety solutions for Metra through the iBEAM brand, and some cool products there for the new season, courtesy of Metra PowerSports. That wraps it up for this session. Thank you for tuning in to CMA Industry Week on this Metra Showcase. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.